Okay people, I'm back again with another one, and this time, well, you probably already read in the title, I'm making dal, the yellow dal, or as we call Masoor dal, yellow lentil. And this was a request from a friend of mine. He said, can you make a video on how to make this one? So that's what I'm going to show you today. It's very simple. It's one of those one pot type things for me. So I got my pot here heating on like a medium low, and to this we're going to add some canola oil, probably a couple of tablespoons, 2 tablespoons I guess. Okay, and then to that I'm going to add cumin seeds or jeera. That's half a teaspoon, that's about 3/4 of a teaspoon. That goes in. Give this a bit of a mixy-do. And then to this I'm going to throw in my onions. And there we go. And we're going to sweat these off. Cut the onions a little bit, or saute them a little bit. I'm not going to, normally I'd make this torka separate and I'd make the dal separate, but today what I sometimes do as well is I just throw everything in at one shot. Sometimes I take down a little bit to low. And next up we're going to put the dal in. I'm making 1 cup. I'm using this cup, you can use whatever cup you want. And first up it's going to be the dal, the yellow dal. I'm just pouring it into the cup off to the side here. I'll show you. Come on, keep coming. Okay, looks like I've got to take that off. Okay. So I got just a little bit less than a cup. That's gonna go in. And then the other one, because we don't just make the yellow lentils by themselves, put a bit of this one in as well. I forgot the name of this one, but if I remember I'll put it in the description. And I'm gonna do half a cup of this one. It's like the small little split, the little split one. So half a cup of that goes in, and then just give this a good stir. And to this we're going to add water. That's 1 cup. That's 2 cups. Three. And 4. I'm going to start off with 4 cups, and while as this is cooking, the water is obviously going to evaporate. It's going to become less, and at that time I will add some more in. This, it's up to you, the consistency. You want it kind of thick or runny, it's entirely up to you. I kind of like mine depending on my mood. Sometimes I like it a little bit liquidy, sometimes I like it a little bit thick. But today, I don't know, I haven't quite decided how I want it. So, we'll see what happens. And to this now, the rest of the stuff. Garam masala, half a teaspoon. Noon, or some say namak or salt, that is to your tasting, but that's 1 teaspoon, that's 1.5, that's 2, and then this here is haldi, that is half a teaspoon. There you go, that's half a teaspoon, and that's that. Red chili flakes, again this is to your liking, but that's half and a bit, so that's about 3/4 of a teaspoon. So we've got the cumin seed in, jeera, haldi or turmeric, noon or salt, garam masala, we've got all of that in. We've got our 1 onion in, that was 1 onion that I put in, and now we're going to give this a good mix, and I'm going to crank the heat up on this a little bit, again to medium low, and then once this is well mixed, I'm going to put the lid on, and you want to let it come to a boil. Just keep checking it every so often, because this will boil over. Even though the lid will be on, it will boil over, and it'll make a mess everywhere, and you don't want that. So I'm going to let this go now, let it come up to a boil. Keep on stirring it in between, because you don't want it to stick to the bottom, and then we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so lid is on, medium low heat, and we'll let that come up to a boil. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes, and let's see. Yeah. Give it a stir, you don't want it to stick to the bottom. I actually cranked my heat up. I got it on high now. But you basically, we're gonna boil this until the lentils, not 100% dissolved, but when they're about 80% dissolved, or they go mushy. But you gotta keep an eye on the water level, because like I said, the water will evaporate, and then your dal will stick to the bottom. So keep an eye on the water level. As need be, we will add more. Again, scrape your sides down, otherwise all of this stuff will just cake on, and it'll be a nightmare to wash the pot afterwards. So, a bit of that. See, it kind of, it's boiling. So, I'm gonna reduce the heat down to medium low. Then I'm going to put the lid back on and just let it go. Like I said, every 3 or 4 minutes, just give it a stir, mix it up a little bit, so nothing's sticking to the bottom. Okay. Okay, let's see where we're at so far. Ooh, that's steam action. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the water level has kind of gone down. It's starting to thicken, which is fine. And the yellow lentil, I can't really see anymore. So that's kind of dissolved away. Now the red colored, or we call it yellow lentil. This other one is the split pea or something, I believe it's called. So that one is left. So now we want to make sure that is nicely dissolved. And I think that's probably been about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes so far. So I'm going to cover it and let it go for a little bit longer. Okay people, so I just took the top off, and the water has reduced it down some more, which is good. Luckily I took it off in time, the top, and checked it because it was just about to start sticking. But it's okay, it didn't burn or anything. So that's why I said you got to keep an eye on this, because you don't want it to start to stick to the bottom. And I'm going to add a little bit more water to this because I want it a little bit thinner. So that's another 1 cup in. Give this a good mixy-do. And then I turned my heat down to low. I'm going to crank it up a little bit, so just a little bit more than low, but not quite medium low, if you can make sense of that. And again, scrape your sides down. As I said, this stuff will cake on, and it's not fun cleaning it. We're not that far away now from this being done, so we'll let it go probably another couple minutes, and then we'll check it again. Okay people, so we're getting there. A close up of it. So the orangey colored one that we put in, that one's dissolved, and the other yellow one, the split pea one, I keep on calling it that, I'm not even sure if that's what it's actually called, but that's what we're going to go with. And that's kind of started to dissolve, go mushy rather as well, and that's what you want, right? So that's kind of getting there. I'm going to let this go for a little bit longer because I want it a little bit more dissolved, the lentils. So we'll put the lid back on that, and we'll let it go a little bit longer. So people, our lentil, this is done. I just tried some and it's done. I like the thickness of it. It's not too runny, it's not too thick, so I'm quite happy with that as it is now. And the seasoning and everything is on point. Now to this, we're gonna add butter. You have to add butter to this, otherwise it's gonna be too dry and you don't want that. So we're gonna add some butter to this. Okay, so I put my butter in. I put a good chunk of butter in there. It's pretty substantial. Like I said, this needs the butter, otherwise it's gonna be too dry and you don't want that. So the heat is off, butter's in. Just let that melt away by itself. This is kasuri methi, fenugreek. I just kind of crushed it up with my, with my fingertips. Excuse me. That goes in. And then give it a good old mix. And this is it. This is pretty much done now. We're just gonna let the butter melt away by itself. I've turned the heat off, and like I said, the water, I didn't add any more water to it. I'm quite happy with this consistency. I think it's kind of diluted enough for me, like the lentils. Plus when you add the butter in, it helps to mash up the lentils. Like they just mash up themselves a little bit more. They become more mushy rather, I should say, by themselves. So I'm not gonna add any more water. You can if you want. Today I want to leave it a little bit thick, but not too thick. So that's that. And again, clean your sides down. See, I never cleaned it last time and it's starting to cake on. I'm having to scrape it off. But that's okay. Not a big deal. So scrape it all off, and we'll plate some up here. People add, you're probably all thinking about, oh my god, that was a lot of butter, but you know what, people add more than that, and people add more butter in the plate afterwards as well. So I think I put a good amount in. nothing too much. Bit of that action for you. And yeah, look at that, it's done. So again, do make this, follow the recipe, it's easy, it didn't take that long. I think it probably took about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it tastes awesome. And yeah, try it, and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon, comment, and share the video, and we will see you on the next one. Until then,